So my name is Chukwudi Ezumaba. I'm studying a wireless networking program at George Brown College, and I'm from Nigeria. Canada is a multicultural country. Everybody here is really nice and welcoming. The wireless networking program at George Brown, it's really amazing. They have this hands-on approach. You get to work with real networking equipment. Passage offers mentorship programs to the candidates. They don't just bring you in. So they give you that mentorship to ensure that you are able to succeed in your stay in Canada. Particularly, that's one thing that separates Passage from the other sponsors. The application process didn't take up to 3 weeks. It was very fast. It wasn't complicated at all. But we recommend Passage to a lot of international students. Passage is really there to help you and guide you all through the process and to ensure that you succeed at the end of your program.
So that you can enlighten us and tell us more about the healthcare opportunities in Canada and how Passage can assist, can help people achieve their study in Canada dream. So over to you.
Amazing. What an introduction. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of hot takes why I think now is honestly one of the best times possible for the right fit international students to be coming to Canada. Let's go into it. And if you're good with it, I'll share my screen. So let me go through here. And hopefully everybody can see what's coming up now. Amazing. So who are we? What is Passage? Passage is here to fund every single deserving international student around the world to do bigger and better things in their life. Now, we are not new to this problem, okay? The people who started this company have been in this industry a long time. We've helped hundreds of thousands of students, and we know what we're doing. If you don't believe me, our founder, Martin Basiri, built a plyboard. That company has raised $500 million, built a $4 billion business in study abroad, and Passage has already raised $40 million from top investors around the world. Now, if you want more information, I really urgently suggest you do one thing. Google Martin Basiri and look at what we've accomplished, what he has accomplished. Here he is talking with Justin Trudeau. This is Joe Johnson, the Minister of Innovation and Universities in the United Kingdom. He has been on Forbes. This is Maclean Magazine, one of the biggest Canadian publications with the largest Canadian tech companies in the world. Anyways, I hope you get the point, okay? We are here, we're on a mission, and we are taking this very, very seriously. Now, obviously, unfortunately, everyone knows in this industry, there's a lot of fraud. Unfortunately, bad people come in and take advantage of good people. So we work directly with our schools, and you should always reach out to the school directly and verify the partnership if you have any lingering doubts, okay? So we started Passage because today international education looks like this. Everyone knows that there are a few families out there that have the good life. They're going to go to the top universities, they can move here, move there, no worries. The rest of us, we belong to this lower chunk of the pyramid. We have to work a little harder, we have to fight for opportunities. We wanted to take our experiences so far, our ability to build technology, ability to bring money to the table, to help the world go from something that looks like this to something that looks like this. Now we can help the middle class, upper middle class. Then we will go even lower. And eventually, 5 years from now, Joshua, you and I are talking about the students we've helped to go to Argentina and China and Saudi Arabia and Kenya and who knows where else. Now, this is a big vision and we're working our butts off to get there, but everywhere and everyone has to start somewhere. So what we're focusing on right now is bringing top talent from all around the world to come to Canada to solve labor shortages. Okay? So how does Passage do what we do? Well, here's what we don't do. Other banks, the way that they decide to give you money is they look at your past. Okay? Who are your parents? Do they already have money? Do they have an expensive house? Do they have money in a business that I can go take if this student doesn't pay me back? So what are they checking? They're checking if you already have money. Passage flips that around. So instead of looking at your past, I try to say, Joshua, can I predict that I can make this student successful? That's it. Okay? So how do I do that? I figure out the permanent residency pathways. I work backwards to what jobs lead to PR, and then I work backwards to which schools and which programs I can get you a job and then PR from. Okay? So that's kind of the overall vision and idea and how Passage does what we do. Now, put it another way, Passage is here for your success, right? Most people around the world, they can offer kind of the basic study abroad offer. This is really helpful and it's really hard, don't get me wrong. But because I'm in Canada, one of the things that I can do that's really valuable to you is I can be here when you arrive in Canada. I will be helping you with accommodation. I can help you with things like finding a part-time job while you're in school. I can teach you to think like a Canadian. How do you understand credit economies? What is a credit score? Why is it so important in Canada? And how do you make the most of it so you can live life very comfortably when you're here? Last but not least, when you're graduating from school, it really matters what first job you get. The better job you can get after school, the more you're going to be comfortable and the more you're going to set yourself up for a really strong permanent residency application. Okay? So because I'm giving you the money, I really am invested in your success. And the best way I can do that is to make sure I'm your partner for the next 7 years until you get all the way to a successful career and you don't need me anymore. So far, we are off to the races. We've helped a bunch of Afghan refugees, which is something that's near and dear to our heart on the philanthropy side. And we've helped several hundred international students from 37 countries around the world. This means our product is already working, getting study permits in Nigeria, Ghana, Colombia, Cameroon, Senegal, Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania, you name it. Now, why? One of the main reasons that study permits get rejected is because the IRCC, the Canadian government, is trying to figure out, do you actually have the money to be in Canada? They kind of know that what people are doing is they're going out to the community and they're either gathering money from 30 different bank accounts, or you're going to a local bank who's going to put the money in your account and charge you a lot of money every month. You hold the money and then you say, look, IRCC, I have the money to be in Canada. And then as soon as they say yes, you send all that money back. Okay? IRCC is pretty smart. They know this is going on and it leads to high rejection rates. Now with Passage, what we are going to do is instead of needing to come up with bank statements and letters of sponsors, Passage is going to write you a document that you will use to show that the tuition and living costs are covered by Passage, a Canadian company, and they can verify the money is real on the spot. This is going to go a long way to getting more confidence in your study permit application and reduce the amount of bad rejection. Okay? Now, what I'm really proud of is all of the students that have come to us this year and needed a last-minute accommodation help, we were able to support. What also is really cool is 85% of the students that we funded came to us and needed help finding part-time jobs. all of those students who needed help, we were able to secure jobs. So knock on wood, we're off to a good start, and we're here this year to help a lot more students be successful here in Canada. Now, today we are funding 3 schools. We will fund you to go to George Brown College, Niagara College, or Bow Valley College in Calgary, Alberta. Why 3 schools? Why not any school? Again, remember, I am going to bet on you with my own money that I can get you to be successful in Canada. That means I'm only going to bet on you if you go to a good school and study a good program. After all, that is what's going to lead me to be able to get you a good job. Okay? Now, we also fund master's programs at the top universities in the country. So this is important. I will not fund universities other than the logos you see on this slide. Now, obviously, if you have more questions, and I'm sure you will, you have to reach out to Joshua and the amazing team at Swanberry, and they can help you get sorted on anything else that you need. Our loan philosophy is that we have to do 2 things right. We have to make sure that we pick schools and programs that work with the government's policies, and we need to make sure that we are only successful if you guys are successful. Since I don't have a house, or I don't have a car, or I don't have a business to come after, if anything happens to you, I'm going to lose all of my money. This is why I'll be there to make sure you guys do well, because I have to be. My money is on the line. So the mechanics of the loan, we will fund students up to 65,000 Canadian dollars, and we will fund up to the full tuition of the program and up to 1 year of living costs. Okay, so we will fund the full tuition of the school program and up to 1 year of living costs. For master's programs, we will fund up to $40,000. Okay, so right now, the best programs to study that leads to jobs and permanent residency are STEM, healthcare, and skilled trades. Obviously, where we're focused is the best category right now is healthcare. We have really exciting programs in community health management, health information management, social work, behavioral science, early childhood education, and programs that are really popular, PSW and healthcare aide, and of course, practical nursing. So what's cool here is we have a mix of administrative programs. So the people who run the hospitals, run the doctor's offices, as well as the people actually providing the care to Canadians around the country. So really there is a flavor for everybody. From those of you who likes numbers, for those of you who love science, and for those of you who love people. Now, one of the really important things that we do is we give out our loan in such a way that it gives you the best chance of getting your study permit approved. Some more of the basics. The interest rate on the loan is 11.95% APR. This is a fixed rate that doesn't change over time. Now, importantly, I do not need your parents to co-sign the loan. I do not need their houses, and I don't need their income tax records or any other documents to be approved for a loan. What we've done to make the loan as flexible for everybody that we can is we've stretched how long people can make payments out to 7 years. Okay, so typically you're going to have 5 to 7 years to be able to repay. And then we want to make sure people have flexibility. So you can repay the loan at any time, free of charge, free of penalty. This means if you've got a sponsor in Canada, you've got an uncle, you get a really good job, or your parents can help you financially, at any time, you can fully repay the loan and cancel the loan. This means you can dramatically reduce the total cost of your education and the total cost of the loan. Now, the big idea here, maybe like if any of you are falling asleep, now is the time to pay attention. This is going to allow you to reduce the amount you need by almost 75%. Okay? Now, what does this mean? It means today you need to come up with about 25% of the total cost. Why? The real answer is that fraud is a huge problem in this industry. And I need to make sure that the people we are working with are genuine students and they're not trying to scam me to get to Canada, to not show up at school, to flee to the United States or do something else bad. Okay? So the 25% I need from you to show me that you're serious and you're not here to rip me off. When I give you a loan, congratulations, I'm going to pay the school directly. This way you guys don't have to worry about a cross-border payment. And then last but not least, for the living costs, I'm going to send you money to a bank account every month. So it's going to look like this. You're going to open up a bank account. Every month, I'm going to deposit $1,720 in your account. Okay? Now, if you add up all of those $1,720, you're going to get the $20,000 that you need to show to get your study permit. The loan repayment is really important. It starts 1 month after school begins. If you come in for the fall, first payment begins in October. Okay? Now I'm going to walk you through repayment here in a few slides, but I just want to make sure you know that the expectation is you'll start making payments when you're in school. So really quickly, I'm going to walk through a 1-year program example. Tuition for a program is going to cost something like 18,000 Canadian dollars. And IRCC, again, is going to require you to have 20,000 bucks to get into Canada. So all of a sudden, you add this up, and the family needs to come up with $38,000. With Passage, instead of needing $38,000, if you could come up with $9,000, we will cover the full year of tuition and the 1 year of living costs. And if any of you are onshore, so you're here in Canada already, or you have a family at home that can sponsor your living costs, instead of needing to come up with $18,000 for the tuition, if you can just come up with $4,500, Passage will cover the full year of tuition for you. Okay? For a 2-year program, the logic is exactly the same. 2 years of tuition is $36,000. Living costs are $20,000. You need $56,000. For Passage, you don't. If you can come up with $14,000, we will cover the full 2 years of tuition and 1 year of living costs. And 2, again, instead of needing to come up with 2 years of tuition, if you can come up with 1 semester of tuition, so $9,000, Passage will cover you for 2 years. So we covered the why collateral part. What does the end-to-end process looks like? Well, number 1, you're going to go to the amazing Swanberry team, and they're going to help you pick out what is the right school and what is the right program for you. Okay? You're going to send a bunch of documents to them. Your passport, your transcripts, your certificate of completion. They're going to help advise, and they're going to come up with a school and a program for you. You're going to apply to the school, and you're going to answer some questions for us. That will help us figure out whether you're going to get admitted to the school and whether we will be willing to give you a loan. When you get approved at the school level, you're going to get a document called a letter of acceptance, or an LOA. On this document, there will be instructions of what to do next to complete your admission and enrollment in the school. One of the steps will say, pay passage, the cash collateral fee. Once you make that payment and we receive it, you're going to get the provincial attestation letter. You're going to get the passage pass. This is the document that shows that your tuition and living costs are covered by us. Last but not least, it will confirm your seat at the school for the year. Then you're going to apply for the study permit and go from there. Okay? Now, typically this is where people end. Passage doesn't end there. We're still going to be there to help you on the ground with any of these other services that you need. Okay, last couple of slides before maybe we throw it to questions, or Josh and I can maybe go over some details that maybe he's thinking of you guys might want to ask. So if you're getting a loan, it's almost always going to fall in the $18,000 category, the $38,000 category, or the $56K category. Okay, and the corresponding monthly payments are on the right side. So let's figure out if you can get the biggest loan, the $56,000, and you're going to have to pay $800 a month. We should try to answer the question, are you actually going to be able to repay this loan? All right, that's a very important question. And I may be biased, but I'm really confident that you will. Why am I really confident? Well, number one, I've worked really hard on this, so I think I understand, but let's go through a couple details. The first detail, I'm going to be putting $1,720 in your account for 1 year. So no matter what, I know you're going to have this amount of money coming in. Fact number two, Passage's student success team is going to be there on the ground to help you get a part-time job so you can earn some money while you're going to school. The lowest legal amount you can be paid in Ontario is $17.20 per hour. Okay. Now, international students can work 24 hours per week, so you can earn somewhere around $1,650 per month. Okay. Now, below, you'll see the amount that our students today are earning, but let's keep it conservative with the lowest amount possible. If you put these together, right, Passage is going to give you $1,700. I'm going to help you earn another $1,600. All of a sudden, I know you've got about $3,300 to $3,400 coming into your account every month. Okay, so even after you pay the largest monthly loan payment of $840, you're still going to have $2,500 for living costs left over. Okay, with this $2,500, you're going to pay for food, rent, transportation to and from school. Now, the good news, I know because we've gotten hundreds of kids apartments at this point, that the cost in Toronto, if you do your research, should only be about $700, $800 for an apartment. So I know that you guys should have more than enough money to support your living costs. In fact, our expectation is that you will be able to save around $800 to $1,000 per month. All of a sudden, after 1 year, you're going to have, $8,000 to $10,000 saved up in a bank account. This is really important because if you face any bumps or bruises along the way, this money is there to protect you, to insulate you, so that you can stay focused on your school, get good grades, and work with our team to help you get set up for a good job after you graduate. Okay, I'm going to jump to the questions I get asked most frequently. Number one, by a mile, is what happens if my visa is rejected? What happens to the money I sent you? This is risk-free for you guys, okay? We work with the schools If you get a visa rejected, you show us, we immediately refund the money, and there's no fees, there's no penalties. We do not touch the fund. Okay? If you need to find a place to live, we say that you really should spend the time, do the research, and try to get it yourself. If you're struggling, you can reach out and we'll be there to help you. This is exactly the same on the job front. If you need to work, you need to earn some money, you should spend some time, spend some effort trying to figure out how to do these things. And again, we will be there to help assist you when you need it. The last question I'll answer is, what are my chances of PR? What Passage does, we figure out where the permanent residency pathways are. We figure out what's going on in Canada. What does Canada need from newcomers? We pick the right program for you. So in a way, we put you in the right starting position. We point you at the finish line. We kind of run ahead. We remove obstacles sitting in your way. But it's important you guys know that you guys have to run the race. You have to show up to school and get good grades. You have to show up to our office and work with us on your resume, cover letters, how do you interview, and how do you get a good job in Canada. If you do those things, the really good news is you have such a huge advantage over other students who do not get these services. Okay? So this is a huge opportunity, but it's a huge responsibility too. Okay? That means I'm going to expect a lot from you, and I'm going to work really, really hard to make sure that you build a successful career here in Canada. Amazing, everybody. I'll stop talking now and looking forward to any questions and following up with Mr. Joshua. And hopefully we'll be able to answer some questions for you guys.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation. Okay, now there are some questions that popped up, and one of those questions is, okay, let me show the question, is they are trying to understand what are the healthcare programs that are available. I think what this person is trying to understand is, international education costs a lot, and it takes a lot from both emotionally and financially. So they don't just want to come here and study something. At the end of the day, they are not going to get value for money. So what are the healthcare programs that are available, and what are the chances of them securing employment?
It's a very fair question, especially now. There's been a bunch of changes. I know students feel really uncertain or insecure about what's going to happen to them now. The real answer is, if you are studying something that has a link to a job that Canada needs filled, you have a very, very good situation on your hands. What you don't want to do is try to force it, study a program that doesn't have this same aspect. There's no connection to jobs that we need in Canada. Otherwise, life will be pretty hard. So for healthcare, we fund a range of programs across both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. We work with everything from those administering care directly, think practical nurses, personal support workers who work with elderly populations, people who are sick, or even sometimes sick children. Okay. We also work with people that I call like intermediates. So these are early childhood educators, they're behavioral scientists. So they work with kids with autism or other learning disabilities that make life a little harder on those families. We also provide kind of administrative or technical healthcare jobs, like health analytics at George Brown is an example. It's a mix between STEM and healthcare, where you're going to work directly with the people who run our hospitals and our dental offices, and you're going to make sure that we're giving care as efficiently to as many people as possible. So what I'd like to say is the world is your oyster. There are a ton of different programs. The biggest thing is what's the best fit for your education background, your interests, and your skills. I think it's a really long answer because you really want to match given a single student to an opportunity. So my recommendation to everybody would be go talk to Joshua. He's the best. He's going to help you figure out what is the right option for you and your background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Somebody just asked, is like he said, what is the success rate? What's the success rate using passage loan? What's the success rate? Are they guaranteed success?
Yeah, I kind of mentioned this a little bit, but nobody can guarantee you success. Joshua, let me put it to you this way. If a student works with us, they come to Canada, they don't show up to school, they don't come to our office and get help, what am I supposed to do? How can I help them?
Yeah.
Right? What we're seeing is the students who come and put forward the effort and want to become successful, people are doing very, very well. They've got a part-time job, they're earning money, they've got a good place to live, they're doing well in their studies. So I think I would put it on the student and say the real answer is it depends on you.
Okay.
If you come and you do everything, your success rate is going to be very high. But if you come and you don't work or you don't study, it's not going to go very well for you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think basically the other questions I'm getting, you already answered them, like the term of the loan, which, if I understand correctly, they can pay back in 7 years, and if they get to Canada now and they have the money to pay back, then they can liquidate, no penalties, which is a very, very, very fair deal. Okay, so is there any advantage? This will be the last question we take, then before we take our final words. Is there any advantage studying using the healthcare route when it comes to, in terms of settling down in Canada? Is there any particular advantage that if you use the healthcare route?
Absolutely. I can think of two off the top of my head. Number one is because healthcare is administered by the government in Canada, it means the jobs are very, very stable.
Okay.
So if you get a job in nursing, if you get a job as a PSW, those are jobs you can count on where you won't be laid off if the economy goes good or bad 1 month to the next. So that stability really matters to families. The second thing is if you look across the provinces and say, where can I go and get permanent residency? The good thing is if you are looking for permanent residency or settling down and starting a family, healthcare is the most straightforward way to get into Canada, period.
Yeah.
Canada is short tens, hundreds of thousands of nurses. Okay? We don't have new 18-year-olds being born that can take these jobs. So no matter what we like or don't like, we need people to come and help us fill those jobs and take care of the population as it gets older. So that's your opportunity, and it's just waiting for you guys to take it.
All right, thank you very much. And before we go, I'll just quickly share a personal experience that I experienced. I'm somebody that doesn't fall sick that much, thank God. But early this year, I had someone, he fell, snow, he fell, so he had some back pains, but he wasn't bleeding, so it wasn't a life-threatening injury. Now, I took him to the hospital. You won't believe that it took us about 18 hours waiting just to see a doctor. And I wanted to complain, Then I called a friend, a church member, and he said that, you are even lucky you got to see a doctor under 18 hours. So that's to tell you that the system is quite overburdened. So take advantage of this opportunity. Study. There is no point coming to Canada anymore to study business administration. No offense, but why would you want to study something that at the end of the day you are unable to use it to stay? Canada is going to roll out a lot of some immigrational changes this year, but one of the things is the healthcare people, they will always stay relevant. So choose wisely. So there's a question for you before we leave, sir.
Yes.
So can I relocate to my family with this program?
Yeah. So what I would say is come to Canada on a study permit, do well, get a job and get on a work permit, get PR, and you can bring your family over. It's an investment in everybody's future. You want to make sure you do things right because Canada is cracking down and make sure that only honest and genuine people are coming in for the right tools. So for the study permit, it's meant for an individual studying who wants to come and build their career afterwards. So the good news is you can come in, do well, get a job, and then bring your family.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bobby. Hopefully we'll be seeing you again. And if there's any other question, if you have any question, drop it in the comment section or reach out to us and we will definitely get back to you and we will see you in Canada this year. All right, cheers.
I discovered Passage on YouTube. It was a video interview with Bobby Green. I've been following his channel for a while, and that was how I discovered Passage on his page. I was a bit skeptical, so I had to do some research. I also had my family here in Canada too. They helped me do some research, and they were like, okay, it's legit and it's good to go. Most sponsors only go for the universities. Passage sponsors colleges here in Canada too. They don't just bring you in. They give you that mentorship to ensure that you are able to succeed. In my experience, it was very fast and it wasn't complicated at all. It's really amazing because you get to network and meet with people in the tech fields. Toronto is the tech hub of Canada. So my name is Chukwudi Ezumaba. I'm studying a wireless networking program at George Brown College and I'm from Nigeria. So I arrived on 9th of September. I got my visa within that same period, and so that was when I arrived as Canada. I discovered Passage on YouTube. It was a video interview with Bobby Green, and a famous YouTuber who I follow. Can't recall his name, but I've been following his channel for a while, and that was how I discovered Passage on his page. It was so exciting because I've been searching for student loan programs that sponsored colleges. Particularly, that's one thing that separates Passage from the other sponsors. Most sponsors only go for the universities. Passage sponsors colleges here in Canada. When I discovered I was supposed to pay a loan deposit, I was a bit skeptical, so I had to do some research. I also had my family here in Canada too, and so they helped me do some research, and they were like, okay, it's legit and it's good to go. In my experience, it was very fast. The application process didn't take up to 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks about, and so it was so smooth. It wasn't complicated at all. So first of all, the mentorship. Passage offers mentorship programs to the candidates, not just they don't just bring you in. They give you that mentorship to ensure that you are able to succeed in your stay in Canada. So I know we had some of the workshop programs, the budgeting programs, the job application programs, and so these were really helpful in helping me get a job here in Canada. Okay, I'm part-time working at the George Brown College IT department. The program is really great. The wireless networking program at George Brown, it's really amazing. They have this hands-on approach. You get to work with the real networking equipment. I was also studying for a networking certification before I came to Canada. And so coupled with my lectures and the practicals, I was able to get my CCNA, Cisco Certified Network Associate, in 7 weeks. Yeah, so my long-term career goal is to become a network engineer. So that was why I chose the networking program at George Brown College. So what's next for me? Hopefully by the time I'm graduated from my program and with my certification, I will hope to look for jobs in network administrator and network engineer fields. So the college programs offer more hands-on approach to practical learning. You tend to work with the equipment, you get a hands-on approach and you work on real life projects mostly than thesis based or research based program. Life in Canada has been really great and it's been amazing. Canada is a multicultural country, so everybody here is really nice and welcoming. So yeah, its city was really expensive. Everybody says it, but you don't know until you're here. So, but it's not too bad. I've been surviving, so it's pretty great. So, it's a beautiful city too. So the city of Toronto, particularly for someone like me who is looking to chase a career in IT, it's really amazing because you get to network and meet with people in the tech fields. Toronto is the tech hub of Canada, and so I've met a lot of people that are interested in the IT field who has also helped me and given me career advice on how to proceed. I would recommend Passage to a lot of international students who are looking to for a platform to fund their education. Passage is really there to help you and guide you all through the process and to ensure that you succeed at the end of your program.
When I tell my friends about Passage back home, sometimes they feel like, is this really real? Is this true? So I've been making sure that my friends, I let them know, hey, this is an opportunity. You know, they even put us through the resume, trying to find jobs here in Ghana. There was a time I was panicking and I really needed help from Passage. And the person that came through for me, British, very nice, so nice. Be used to the whole IT thing, computer. So now I am going deep into biology, chemistry, trying to figure out how the body works, body mechanics. Oh, I will tell any student out there, choose Passage. My name is Cheta Watarale. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a student of George Brown College and I'm studying the personal support worker program there as well. I came in August 1st, 2023, that's last year. So nice. I came in during the winter time. It was not really the winter time, it was a bit cold. So I was trying to get used to it. Then the city that I moved to, North Bay, that was towards the northern Ontario. So cold. But I got used to it and I really enjoyed the weather there. I realized that it's not really something, the way people talk about it out there, something that one can get used to and adapt. Anytime I feel like a lot is happening, so stressed, and I find my game around me, it eases the tension. So before now, I didn't know about Passage, so I was going through my Instagram and I saw the ads. First, I felt like, maybe I don't know how it might look like. I just scrolled through it. The next day, I decided let me just put in my applications. That time, I was trying to figure out if I should do my second program or I should not do the second program, or I should just apply for my work permit and just continue. So, but at some point, I realized that I really need to do the second program so that I can further my education here in Canada. So going through the application, it was very smooth, very smooth. The requirements, the things that they asked me for was very straightforward. And when I went through it, it was amazing. It was a very amazing journey. It wasn't something that I had to go through a lot of difficulties. Even the person that came through for me, British, very nice, so nice. He made it so simple and so straightforward for me. When I went through the interview, straightforward questions. They made sure that they understood my financial capabilities here. And also throughout the journey, even when I applied for it, I had so many opportunities to do a whole lot of other things, like working, something I can still do while going through the program or even studying. And also before that, we had this financial training so that we can understand how to manage our finances here in Canada and also getting used to how things work here. So it's quite an amazing journey. And at some point, they even put us through the resume, trying to find jobs here in Canada. I mean, there are lots of resources in Passage, and the crazy thing is, not many people knows about this. So I've been, making sure that my friends, I let them know, hey, this is an opportunity, because they'll allow you to be working and also be paying for your school fees monthly, which is very okay. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me, allowing students, and it gives a lot of students the opportunity to complete their education here in Canada without going through the financial stress or the strains of doing a whole lot of things at the same time. So it's been an amazing journey for me. I love it so much. When I tell my friends about Passage back home, it's sometimes they feel like, is this really real? Is this true? Then I'll get to explain to them very well the process, how I did mine, and how everything went through very smooth, with proofs to show them that it's something that makes a lot of sense. So when I show them that, they also put in the applications as well. So one of their biggest hesitations will be most times the collateral that they have to pay. So they need to understand the meaning behind the collateral, or the reasons why they need to make such a payment. And actually, it will help them on the long run, because I got to understand the things behind the collateral amount. It's actually something that will help you manage the payment monthly and ease the stress for you as well. So I think that's one of the challenges they get to face. I can say the support. I noticed online, whenever I try to use the online chatbot, I don't get any reply immediately, or let me say within an hour or 2 hours. There was a time I was panicking and I really needed help from Passage, and British really came through for me. Honestly, he really came through for me. But that moment I was trying to know if I can do it online, but it just didn't work. So I feel that's somewhere that George Brown College, my experience there has been very nice. I can say tough, but I love challenges. I love it when I'm put in a position whereby I get to experience new things in the environment, moving from, I changed my background from an IT background to the healthcare. So it's something challenging and I love it. Waterfront place in George Brown, it's quite nice. I love the landscape, the designs. It made it very convenient for students to study as well. Going to the library, very quiet. It's somewhere I can go to and enjoy my stay there. And they also have a lot of resources to help students in every way. No matter what you're going through, no matter how it's happening around you, they have lots of resources to help. And some of the challenges I noticed, I've been used to the whole IT thing, computer, everything about the IT sector. So now going deep into biology, the chemistry, trying to figure out how the body works, the body mechanics, and also taking care of clients, my patients, making sure that I'm well detailed and I'm attentive to everything that I need to do, because here the health sector is quite important. So I need to be much more articulate with everything I do. So it made it a bit difficult, but I love the challenge, so I'm up for it. What put me through to this program? Back home, I've always enjoyed spending time with the elderly ones, and we are used to taking care of our older ones, especially my granddad. He's still alive. Yeah, so he enjoyed the fact that we always come close, take care of them, put them through any kind of their needs, anything they want. So coming into Canada, I didn't know I would study PSW at first. So when I learned about this program from Passage, I read through it and realized that, hey, this has actually been my passion. This is something that I've really been looking out on how to do it or how to go through it. And making me a professional in this background is something that I can do. So my path towards the next 2 years and years ahead is to involve myself very well, and also to take care of the clients and anyone that comes around me, the elderly ones. I want to involve myself very well into the sector here, and make it evolve in it as well if it's possible. I also want to take the practical nursing pathway, because I learned when I was in George Brown there, I learned this as a PSW. They also have a program that bridges us with the practical nursing pathway. So it's something that I also want to move into. I love the healthcare sector, and this challenge that I'm getting is giving me a good vibes about it. Helping a lot of people in the healthcare is something that I want to do so much now. Oh, I will tell any student out there, choose Passage. They'll make it very smooth for you, because it takes out the financial burden. It makes it possible for you to complete your programs without any kind of issues at all. Also, it will give you the peace of mind to study, not to worry about how do you make this or how do you do that. That's it. And they also help with finding job opportunities here in Canada. It's so nice. The resources, they're so good. So make sure of that. Thank you.
When I started application, I thought maybe it's gonna be a scam because I didn't know much about it. But as I started to apply, I learned that everything must be confidential and must be real. When the due date was over, I was worried, oh, my opportunity is getting away. But I talked to them and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I felt like I was like alone. After landing at the airport, Passage Group, they called me. What's amazing, after 1 week, I got my first interview. What you need to is just to get the knowledge, and when you're ready for that, you can work everywhere in the world. This is the most reliable way. This is gonna be the best opportunity in your life. Don't fear, just go through it. Try it. My name is Benjamin Kiwairo. I'm from Rwanda, Kigali. I'm currently enrolled in George Brown College in computer systems technician. I had an opportunity to get a loan from Passage, and it was amazing.
My name is Yasir. I'm from Kenya. At the moment, I'm studying in George Brown, the course called Construction Engineering Technician. I was planning to come out and to learn abroad because I needed more experience. The whole field is saturated in a way, but if you come outside, there might be volunteering and you might also learn jobs. There was an opportunity presented to me. They introduced me to a program called Passage, kind of looked through the schooling system and everything they have, and it was kind of amazing. So the opportunity was presented to me. It helped me out. Passage is not just financial support. First, the financial aid. Second, the school. And also the third thing is their humble welcoming when you arrive here. It's not just, I'll give you money and walk out, but they are helping you build your career. Also, they are providing you with school options which will benefit your career itself.
And in 9 days, my dears, I got my visa. The first time I saw in the office because I meant to work that day, and I saw PPR request, guys. I was like, oh my god, oh my god. My joy knows no bound. I was so happy. I lay down on the floor at the office. I cried. I said, God, you did this one. No one else.